Humility of questions, a cure for ossified pride. There is a thin line that separates confidence from arrogance. Confidence is porous, open to air and light. Arrogance calcifies into a shell. Confidence grows with learning, while arrogance hardens into certainty. The difference is not always visible, but it becomes clear the moment a question enters the room. Questions are the natural solvent of pride. They loosen what has become stiff. They remind us that no matter how high the pedestal, gravity still applies. When you're asked a question, you're being invited to revisit your own truth. That invitation can be unsettling. People in authority often reject it, not because the question is flawed, but because it becomes a threat to the fragile armor they mistaken for strength. I've often seen this in boardrooms, classrooms, even in living rooms. The most dangerous sentence is any of the places, is that is a silly question. It is not the question that is silly. It is the refusal to acknowledge that another perspective exists. Confidence says, consider. Let us consider. Arrogance says, do not bother me. Children know better. Their days are filled with why, how, when, what if. Their questions are not rhetorical devices but lifelines. Each one is an act of humility, a confession that the world is too vast to be managed alone. That is why their questions disarm us. They reveal the pretense of adulthood. When a child asks, why is the sky blue? The right answer is not a lecture in physics, it is wonder. Our spiritual traditions also honor this truth. Socrates never tired of asking questions because he believed wisdom was not a well to be filled, but a river to be entered again and again. In Zen practice, the Kwan is not meant to be answered. It is meant to unsettle the self that insists on neat solutions. The Bhagavad Gita begins with a question from Arjun, paralyzed by doubt, and it is only through his asking that wisdom flows. Yet in modern life, we prize answers more than questions. The quick reply, instant solution, clever sound bite. Answers inflate the ego, while questions deflate it just enough for humility to enter. To sit quietly with a question is to let the self breathe. Think of the last time someone asked you a real question. Not a trap, not a test, but a true inquiry. For a moment, you slowed down, you listened deeply, you put aside the armor of performance. That moment itself was grace. Questions and silence are siblings. Both clear the noise. Both reminds us that the ego is not a fortress but a scaffolding, temporary and fragile, built down so that we may rebuild again. So when a question unsettles you, do you not swat it away? Hold it gently the way you would a seashell to your ear. Listen for the ocean inside it. For in every question lies a hand tugging softly at your sleeve. Take that hand. It does not shrink you. It only reminds you that to be human is not to defend certainty, but to remain curious, open, and alive. But in the end, it is not answers that keep us alive. It is the courage to keep asking.